Stefan, looking at your CV, I mean, you know so much about financial markets, you worked so much in financial markets, but you never actually saw the inside of a university. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's right. I will let you know. So I started very early, in the age of 17, speculating on the market. And I had a mentor, we had a market expert who was in the 90s and 80s the only well-known expert in Germany. Very old man, died in 1999 in the age of 93. And he also never studied economy, and he said, so if you want to go to the financial markets, so don't study economic, because it's not just useless, it's a burden, because you are in, so there are in some rules what has no value in the past, and of course not in this global world. And so my question goes back, I know from your CV, you saw universities inside. How did you become a successful market advisor with this burden?
Well, no, it's very kind of you to say, but I think part of it is just talking to people all around the world, people investing either big investment funds or people investing on behalf of their own money. And often the people, dare I say it, investing their own money were the ones who had greater market insight, which I learnt from, than the ones who were professionally in investing funds. But you also get perspectives from around the world, whether it's Asia, whether it's the United States, Latin America, Middle East, Japan, really all over, there's always a different perspective. And I've tried to learn from that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I like so much, what's so fascinating for me. The financial markets are a mirror of the world history. Everything what happens in the world you can see in our charts. Every day something is happening. I could never be a dentist, you know, because 20, 30 years you have the people with the, of course technology changes a bit, but you do always the same. But we see, so something happens in Japan, the markets are reacting. I really like that. But one question, what would you say is investment, speculation on markets more a science or more an art?
Do you know, I actually think it is a perfect combination of both. I mean, clearly there are scientific aspects, and I think, you know, we both look at them, right? We look at valuations, we do look at what's happening to GDP and all the rest of it, because these technical things, they are relevant, but they're only a background, they're only something that informs. And then there is, I think, this kind of, whatever you want to call it, sort of art element. And that is to do with how are people thinking, it's the kind of patterns that people follow, it's, you know...
Intuition in my mind?
I think there is intuition. I think that's another key part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you also have to get the idea, you know, sometimes you want to follow the crowd, sometimes you want to go against the crowd. And it's difficult, but part of the big judgment is which of those do you go with, I think.
So, as far as I know, you worked for Credit Suisse. So that's an investment, and you worked in the investment bank for credit. That means normally you are one of the bad guys. So no, you had been this year. You worked 30 years for this company. That's very unusual in our times, that you're not changed for the double of the money another investment bank would pay you. And what's the reason? I assume you will have enough money just to walk on the Thames or go to the Caribbean Sea, but you're sitting here and working for Wertstein. Why?
So look, 30 years at Credit Suisse, I mean, I think I was lucky enough to see enormous changes in that organisation and in the world all around. You know, this was the period, after all, where the Berlin Wall fell, where, you know, the internet was invented, these incredible changes. The euro was created, and I was doing different things at Credit Suisse. I was on the big investment bank side, but I was also working with private clients. And look, it's what you just said. It's also fascinating. You really have to stay involved. I mean, I just really just want to know what's going on and just to be there. And I think that's what Wertstein, I really think that's what Wertstein is all about, being involved and knowing what's going on.